So some of the reasons we want to think about erotophobia as something that our culture has and as individuals start to display is that it leads to poorly trained clinicians at all levels. The reason we weren't trained is because this culture is sex negative in general. Now, it's not entirely sex negative. People say, well, wait a minute, what about all the porn? Well, that's not really sex positivity. That's commercial positivity. That's capitalism, right? That's essentially people trying to sell you something. And there's a huge difference between real sex and someone trying to sell you something with sex, including trying to sell you more porn, right? So that's not sex positivity per se. And so because our culture is so erotophobic, our clinicians are very poorly trained at every single level of the game. There's no regulation of the terms like sexologist. Sex therapist is only regulated in one state. So you can say you're a sex therapist and have no training whatsoever. There's poor collaboration with other fields. And this is not because the field of sex therapy wants poor collaboration. It's because there's so much erotophobia, again, that certain fields are rather rigid about it. AAMFT has been criticized in the last few years for rejecting many workshops that had to do with sexuality. Now, I don't know if it's changed. I'm not sure, but for a while, there was a lot of criticism within that particular organization. There's poor understanding of the public. They don't understand what a sex therapist is. They think it's someone who touches someone. Nope, that's not what it is. It's a clinician who is trained, really well trained in how to do therapy in a number of different subcategories. And then there's an isolation of the clinician because of the erotophobia in our culture. If I become a certified sex therapist, all of a sudden my peers think I'm a little weird, right? Other people think I'm strange. Why do you do that? Why do you want to talk about that? And that's all due to the erotophobia of our culture. Okay. This is the actual definition of erotophobia: powerful, irrational fears about our own sexuality and that of other people. That's John Inst's wonderful book called The Politics of Lust. I recommend it. It's in your handout. And then there are all different ways that erotophobia manifests. And this is just some of them. Some people are homophobic, but they're not afraid of nudity. Some people are not homophobic at all. They can talk about orientation all day long, but they're terrified of seeing a nude body or someone else seeing them nude, or even seeing images of nudity, right? Some people think that anything outside of marriage is not only wrong, but frightening, right? That's the true erotophobia, right? Not wrong, not just wrong for me, but wrong for everyone, but also that there's something scary about that for them. Some people have, are just afraid of anything that they consider abnormal. And that can range everywhere from the most popular sexual behavior in the world, which is oral sex. Intercourse is not the most popular. Oral sex is, and it can go from, but someone could think that that's abnormal, right? All the way up to very extreme, power and control, sexual power exchange behaviors or kinky behaviors, right? So I could be maybe just fine about people being kinky, but maybe I'm really not okay with consensual non-monogamy. And so as you can see, there are many different ways that people can manifest erotophobia. And there are certainly many ways. All of these ways are ways that we can see in our culture, that our culture is frightened of sexuality and also negative about it.